welcome to Metro Detroit's newest comedy variety show. I'm your host, Andrew Walker, and we're starting something new today. We're going to have interviews, we're going to have maybe a couple sketches, a couple songs, who knows what's going to happen, but we're just trying something new for the people of Detroit. I'm not going to waste your time talking, but I want to introduce my first guest on the stage, Mr. Jimmy Hofstra. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
So Jimmy, I'm just trying to interview local people around here who I think might be newsworthy.
You can call me Mr. Hofstra.
Mr. Hofstra.
Or sir.
What would you prefer?
Either.
Okay. So Mr. Hofstra.
Yeah.
When I put out this ad to get people to come on the show for the interview, you emailed me and said that you would like to come on the show because you had an announcement.
Yeah.
Can you give us you don't have to
You
tell.
just want to go right into it.
I just
All right.
get into it.
All right,
man.
listen.
You're dressed in this nice leather jacket.
Thank you.
You have this basketball hat on. You look
Detroit Pistons.
Detroit Pistons.
Did you not know what the hell?
It doesn't say the. Oh, it does say the Pistons on there. Okay.
Are you nervous?
No.
You sound nervous.
I'm not nervous.
All right.
No.
Well, my big announcement.
Oh.
I am
right
not, as I purported to say, Jimmy Hofstra. I am actually Jimmy Hoffa.
No.
The labor leader and totally clean.
Okay.
Union rep. Jimmy Hoffa.
Sir.
That's me.
Sir, I have to stop you right there.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that he has been declared dead in absentia since 1982.
Went missing in 1975, yeah. But I'm still here. I'm alive. Okay. I'm alive and well.
Okay. There have been a lot of imposters. There have been a lot of stories about maybe Jimmy was put into a barrel and sunk in the Detroit River. Maybe he was buried at home plate at the old Giant Stadium. Come on. You're pulling my leg, right?
I'm not pulling your leg. I'm Jimmy Hoffa. I emailed you a DNA test. Did you not read your email?
I haven't read my email in
well, that's your problem,
6 days.
That's not my problem. I'm here to tell you I am Jimmy Hoffa.
Okay.
I am back.
This camera is live right here. Talk right into the camera and give tangible proof. Like something only family members and friends of Jimmy Hoffa would know.
Why are you laughing?
Because
Is this funny to you? Is
yes,
this whole situation funny?
This is extremely funny.
I've been missing for 49 years.
Okay, and then that's why I'm so flabbergasted, because why would you pick this very first episode of this variety comedy show?
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself.
I'm not hard on myself.
I know you're a producer on Pristine Peninsula. I listen to that show all the time.
Yes, I am producer Andrew on that.
Yeah, you are producer Andrew. But now you got your own show. You're doing
great. I got
great.
my own show now.
It's like me. I started by unionizing a Kroger's over, not too far from here actually, and then I became
on the east side, or here in Orion, or where?
No, not in Orion. No, it's over in Dearborn Heights, I think.
Okay, all right.
I did unionize a Kroger's, so that was the first thing I ever unionized.
Yeah,
and then not long after that, I became president of the Teamsters.
Okay, so that's a big deal.
I got harassed by Bobby Kennedy for a while.
Oh, okay, that's true.
This is all stuff only Jimmy Hoffa would know.
That checks out. That's on your Wikipedia page. Okay.
You have my Wikipedia page open, but not your email with the DNA testing.
Hey, I'm only one man. I only have so much.
It's your first show. It's okay.
Yes.
Listen, I'm just here. Let me tell you about the disappearance. Okay. Let me tell you about that. Will that satisfy you?
It'll satisfy me,
showing?
And it'll satisfy Timmy. So.
I thought this was a serious talk show. I came out here to tell my truth, to say I'm back.
You're back, baby. So tell us the truth.
All right, so it was back in 1975. It was nearby here. It used to be the Red Fox. What is it now? It's
Andiamo's, right at Telegraph and Maple.
I can't believe that people at the Red Fox. You couldn't keep the place that Jimmy Hoffa went missing in business. You had to sell.
They should have turned it into a.
They could have been a whole museum.
Yeah, seriously.
Martin Scorsese made a movie about me.
And he shot the Red Fox outside of L.A.
Probably in Glendale.
Yeah. And there's hills in the background. There's no trees. It looks nothing like Bloomfield.
But listen.
Yes.
So I got nabbed. I got nabbed out of that Red Fox. Okay. I called my wife on a payphone. I went back. I was waiting for some guys. Talked to some guys. I got nabbed.
What does nab mean?
What do you mean? What does nab mean? You
I
got grabbed.
I don't
I
talk-
got absconded with.
Okay, I've never.
I
been,
got taken.
I've never been involved in the mafia, so I.
Hey, neither have I.
Okay, so nab means grabbed. What happened after
I got
that?
grabbed
What
by
happened
some.
After
I
that?
don't want to put some Italian gentleman grabbed me, and then what happened next is what I can only be described as a Rasputin situation. First, they fed me a poison cannoli, and I survived that. I have a very strong stomach. That's something only Jimmy Hoffa would know.
Okay.
Ask my wife.
And what caused that strong?
Huh?
What caused that strong stomach? Did you eat a lot of like
I grew up poor. I grew up in the Depression.
you
I ate
grew
a
up
lot of
poor and-
I ate a lot of sawdust when I was
sawdust and
growing up.
maybe
Yeah.
a little bit of arsenic in there to make you tough, but not enough to kill you?
But possibly. I
Yeah.
didn't intend to put arsenic in my food.
Nobody did
Neither
back
did
then.
my mom, God rest her soul. But you didn't even. When's the last time you've been to church?
4 or 5 years.
All right, listen. So I survived the poison. So at that point, one of the guys stabbed me in the car. I'm shocked they didn't get blood from that car. I was bleeding a lot. I'm a little bit anemic, so that blood was just coming out. Then they shot me, and then they threw me in the Detroit River. But
At what point? Like by Belle Isle, downriver, by Zug Island? 'Cause you know Zug Island, there's a secret underground prison there.
you know what? It's tough for me to remember because I had just been stabbed and poisoned. But I think it was Belle Isle.
Okay. It seems like to me you would have remembered
Oh, it seems like to you.
such a traumatic event. Oh shoot, I just got stabbed. Oh shoot, I'm probably gonna die.
It's-
But I survived this. I should know what happened to me.
I'm
Right?
telling you what happened to me, Andrew. This is a very.
For sure,
This
you
is not-
you got dumped off of Belle Isle.
This is not what your producer told me this interview would be.
What did my producer tell you?
That it was like the legitimate talk show. This seems like a fiesta right now. Listen, okay,
What
so I was
happened-
dumped
what
dumped
happened
off of
after
Belle
Belle
Isle,
Isle?
likely. 12 hours later, I crawled out of that river. I'm like, oh, I don't know who those gentlemen were or why they would be mad with me, but I better go into hiding.
Okay.
So I
Fair
moved to
enough.
Madison Heights, changed my name to Jimmy Hofstra, and I've just been hanging out.
All right. Now, before then, were you an independently wealthy man, or did you have to work after you?
You have my
disappeared?
Wikipedia open. You didn't know that?
It doesn't say anything about Madison Heights.
Oh, right, 'cause that was
you've
secret,
been,
yeah.
You've been below the radar, so that's
they're
why
gonna
I'm asking you.
they're gonna
today.
update it right after this interview.
I will update it.
Nah, I just you know what? My pension was still good. My pension from the
Teamsters?
Teamsters, yeah, was
Yeah?
still good.
Okay.
Just kept cashing those checks.
Okay, so who exactly do you think was responsible for attempting to kill you?
Oh, who can say? You know, it seemed like a random attack to me.
Really?
It seemed like a random
It
attack.
wasn't. Maybe one of the Kennedys, maybe
Oh,
George H.W.
listen,
Bush.
By
maybe-
then, the Kennedys
maybe
were
the
dead.
mafia.
Okay, the Kennedys were dead by then. All right.
Not Ted.
Yeah, Ted. Yeah, the third Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Ted.
No, because
I wasn't worried about Ted.
Here's what happened with Ted. After the CIA killed Kennedy.
Oh
and
yeah, the CIA did it.
the CIA killed Kennedy.
Yeah,
And
I had
Bobby.
nothing to do with that.
You had nothing to do.
With JFK, no, I had
The
nothing to do
CIA
with that.
sat Ted down in a room and said, "Hey, you can be senator the rest of your life, maybe even president, but you cannot talk about what happened to your brothers." That was the deal they made with them, from what I've heard.
That's interesting what you've heard.
Yeah.
And how wrong it is. But
Okay. Anyway, so what did you do in Madison Heights the last, I don't know, 45 years?
I was just kind of hanging out. There's a Target up there, you know. I was hanging out at Augie's.
14 Mile.
Yeah, hanging out at Augie's. They got like cover bands that come through there. You know, Room 13 is down there sometimes. I go
Okay.
check them out.
Power walk around Oakland
yeah.
Mall to get your
Yeah,
get your
great
steps in.
mall. Great mall.
Great mall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very relevant today.
Trying to avoid my wife and children. Well, no one could know I was alive, obviously. So, not that anyone was after me, but I thought it would be better if no one knew that I was alive.
So your wife and kids believed you were dead that whole time?
Yeah, they had to.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
Jimmy, I have to ask you a personal question.
Mr. Hoffa
Mr.
or
Hoffa.
Sir, either one.
Mr. Hoffa, did you ever find love after?
The only thing I really loved was being president of the Teamsters Union.
No romance, or was that your own?
No, I
personal
played
romance?
a lot of World of Warcraft while I was in hiding. I was a
Oh, yeah.
raid leader.
World of Warcraft
Yeah.
was invented back in the 70s.
Well, no, it came out in 2004, but
How-
that was still 18 years ago. I had a lot of time to kill.
Okay, so before that, Dungeons and Dragons.
No.
And...
What am I, a nerd? So I was a World of Warcraft raid leader because I just had to taste that power again. I just had to be in charge of something, you know?
Had to be in charge.
Yeah, and maybe some of the guild's gold went missing. I don't know where it went. There's a lot of gold. Who knows where it went? I don't know why everyone keeps coming to me with these things.
Okay, so I got my next logical question is, now that you've come public on this small but growing medium of my variety show, and now George H.W. Bush is dead, most of the Kennedys are dead, no one is probably going to try to kill you now. What would you like to accomplish now that you're out in the open?
I'm thinking of getting a Netflix stand-up special.
Really?
Yeah, that seems like an achievable goal.
A
So.
la Chappelle.
I mean, just throw a name out there. Like, you could throw any name out
John
there.
Mulaney.
Any name in existence, and they probably have a Netflix stand-up special. So,
Yeah.
hey, Jimmy Hoffa's back. Gonna hit up some of these open mics, okay? And we'll see what happens. I'm back.
Can Timmy be the
I don't.
opening act?
I don't. No.
Oh, okay. All right. So you mentioned, what was the place you mentioned that you like to visit there in Madison Heights?
Oh, Augie's. It's a bar.
Augie's.
Yeah, it's a
I've
bar.
never heard of the place. What's
Yeah,
that?
it's okay.
What's it like?
It's a bar.
That's all you have to say. It's a bar.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I tried to go back to Red Fox, but then I found out they rebranded.
Oh yeah, it's been.
It's kind of like I wanted to kind of go back to the scene of the crime against me.
You go back there. And
I-
say,
dude,
hey,
listen.
anybody recognize me?
I'm sure if a guy got murdered and he was still alive somehow, he'd want to go back to the place where he was murdered. That's just me.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask you one last question
Yeah.
before we bring our next guest, who's a wonderful local musician. I forgot my question, but it'll come to me. Oh yeah. So you are roughly 110 years old.
Yep.
Though you have the
You got to put on sunscreen daily. I'm
You-
telling you.
you-
If I could
you-
tell anyone at home one thing right now, you want skin like this at 110, you got to put on sunscreen daily. You could use some sunscreen, my friend.
How do you think I am?
You look older than you are. I'll say that. You really should get some sunscreen. I'm saying this.
Hey, I'm 60.
You look.
Don't I look like 38? Or... Anyway,
I'm trying to be polite. I'm trying to be polite.
You are polite. My question is, you have the appearance of a younger man who will probably be 30, like in April or so. Now, were you one of those people I've heard rumors about who had a full body transplant to make yourself look younger, but you kept the same brain?
No.
Okay.
Just 8 glasses of water a day.
Asked and answered.
Sunscreen. Follow the food pyramid. They got it right with the food pyramid. I don't know why they kept changing it. That food pyramid, if you follow that, you will live to be 200. I don't know what they're doing. They keep changing it. Everything keeps changing.
Okay, remember how, I believe it was Ted Williams who froze his body or froze his head?
That was Walt Disney.
Well, I mean, many famous people have done it.
Yeah.
In the hopes that we have the technology in the future to reanimate the brain. Is that something you'd be interested in? Because I'm sure you got some money to do that. Would you like to live forever if we can bring your brain, your body back to life someday? While you're, in the meantime, cryogenically frozen?
Listen,
I'm listening.
I wouldn't trust nobody with a blade around my neck, okay? I got trust issues ever since I got nabbed, all right? So to have someone else cut my whatever, nabbed, grabbed, absconded, kidnapped, whatever. I don't trust any of that. I wouldn't trust someone to cut off my head and then stick me in a freezer. What, and then throw that freezer into a river with some cement blocks around it? No thanks.
Oh, okay. You have a complex there
yeah,
about
bury
being thrown in a river.
Bury
I
the freezer at the Meadowlands? No
I got
thanks.
you.
No, thank you.
Timmy gets you.
I
All
don't
right.
want to talk to Timmy. I'm
Yes.
not talking to Timmy.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the next segment of the show. And today we have Abijah Perry playing Sweet Pea by Amos Lee. Take it away, Abijah.
Sweet pea, apple of my eye. I don't know when and I don't know why. You're the only reason I keep on coming home. Sweet pea, what's this all about? Don't get your way, all you do is fuss and pout. You're the only reason I keep on coming home. I like the rock of the Gibraltar. I always seem to falter, and the words just get in the way. I know I'm gonna crumble, trying to stay humble, but I never think before I say. Sweet pea, keeper of my soul. I know sometimes I'm out of control. You're the only reason I keep on coming. You're the only reason I keep on coming, yeah. You're the only reason I keep on coming. Oh.
Yay. Great job, Abijah. Great job. Now, what was your inspiration for picking that cover?
Well, that song, I always played it when I was younger, when I was a teenager. That's just one of the songs I went to because it was fun and it had easy chords. But the easy chords are not the reason why I picked the song. That song just makes me happy, and the lyrics behind it, they're really sweet too. So.
Okay, now, would I be a fool if I said I had never heard of Amos Lee before? Because...
There's been some covers of his song. I wouldn't say you're a fool. I would just say listen to him.
Okay. I'll have to look him up. And I heard a rumor that you have another song for us, one of your originals. Is that true?
Yeah, it's the original. It's called So Blue. I wrote it when I was, in my teens, again, 17, my junior year of high school.
Okay.
And it's like one of my comfort pieces, like how people have comfort food. I have comfort song.
Yeah?
So that's one of my favorites.
All right, take it away.
My eyes like the wind, kisses smoke, didn't realize that you disappear in a flash. Replayed it over and over again in my mind. About 100,000,000 times. And maybe if the sun was really smiling, oh then I won't feel so blue. And if the flowers picked love me instead of night, oh then I won't feel so blue. But no, didn't come true. And what do I feel like this always happens to me? And baby, why can't I just be? Every hour feels like seconds. Even those picture perfect memories that tainted. Why can't I just be? And maybe if the sun was really smiling, oh, then I won't feel so blue. And if the flowers picked me instead of night, oh, then I won't feel so blue. So blue.
Great job, Abijah. Beautiful song.
Thank you.
Now, I have a question from a longtime fan of the show, my friend Dan D'Arienzo from Farmington Hills. If you could jam with anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
Jessie J.
Jessie J?
Yeah. You don't know her too?
I feel so old. I don't know Jessie J.
Jessie J.
Enlighten me.
She's a classic. Her songs are so honest and beautiful, and then everything that she puts into them is just spectacular. Vocals, everything in general.
Is she still with us?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Alive and still singing.
Still singing, okay.
Yes.
Now, a different question. If you had to move somewhere in the United States based on the geographic stereotypical music, where would you move? For example, if you wanted to go and get into bluegrass, maybe you go to West Virginia or Kentucky, or I don't know, New York indie rock scene. Where would you
Well,
feel comfortable?
if Motown was still there, oh yeah, I'd definitely be there for sure.
Hey,
100%.
let's recreate it.
I'm down.
All right, everyone, thanks for joining on this segment with Abijah Perry. We could talk to Timmy more, but we want to bring on our next guest. He is a local musician who has been writing a lot of his own songs the last, I don't know, probably 20 years from the Lake Orion area. He has a lot of his own original songs. He's also great with covers. And he likes to play a lot of small shows and open mics around here. Mr. Ian James Pinchback. Come on stage, Mr. Pinch. What, you're not going to stand up? How rude.
I'm sitting. You're the
Nice
host. You
to,
stand.
Nice
to see you,
meet you.
fellas. So it's good to be on the first episode of
Whatever this show is.
Walker, Michigan Ranger.
Yeah, we'll fix.
Andrew Walker.
We'll come up with a name someday. Mr. Pinchback, welcome to the
Thank you,
show.
sir.
I was fortunate enough to catch you at an open mic night at 20 Front Street
Or
a couple weeks
unfortunate
ago.
enough, depending on your perspective.
No, I recorded both of your songs, and you can find those on YouTube.
You sure can.
Now, when I put out this ad saying I needed a guest for the show, you wrote me an email saying, Andrew, What do you need me to do? What do you need me to do to get out of the
That's
show?
a pretty good impression.
What do you,
It is.
hey, Andrew, what do you need me to do? What's
I need more. You know, I think it was nice of you to give this dead guy another chance. I think that's good.
I'm lying, the whole thing. This guy wasn't even listening.
I was. You know, Madison Heights is a very good place to get lost. I've done that both intentionally and unintentionally over the last 10 years or so.
There are a lot of good Vietnamese restaurants in Madison Heights.
Oh yeah.
There sure are.
You want some pho? Go to Madison Heights.
Hey, do you know? Have you ever heard the word that word pronounced? It's not pronounced
How's it
pho.
pronounced?
Fa.
Pho.
Pho? You guys are yanking me. Pho?
Ha.
I lived there for how long? I lived there for 45 years. Never knew.
Yeah.
No one corrected me.
Yeah. Well, I did now, so don't ever forget it. Okay.
This is a very contentious. Is he always like this?
I think he is.
Oh, great. Here, you talk.
You know, I get your beef with the Kennedys too. When I was a kid, that's when I first got into playing guitar. It was the early '90s, so I was really into Kennedy, the VJ from MTV at the time.
Oh yeah.
Jamie Kennedy.
Well,
Didn't he
Jamie
have
Kennedy is a whole different story altogether.
Was he the print guy?
No, I'm talking about the woman that had curly hair and glasses.
On MTV.
I know nothing about MTV.
I was more of a Matt Pinfield guy, but I was really into Kennedy.
I didn't
at
have
the time.
cable.
She didn't
We
write
couldn't
me
afford
back.
cable when I was a kid, so I don't know anything about MTV. Anyway, go ahead.
Could have used ham radio.
You're right. I could have.
Yeah, get creative.
Exactly.
Mr. Pinchback, keep going.
Yes, sir. Well, and like most kids of that era, I was very, very original in my taste. So I was influenced by Nirvana and Alice in Chains and Soundgarden.
Nirvana, yeah. Now,
And New
maybe
Kids
I'm
on
wrong.
the Block.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they're still a little underrated, Nirvana. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think their drummer did something after that, though.
yeah, like
He didn't get as big as the Sweet 75 with Chris Novoselic, but you know, I think the Foo Fighters might be going somewhere.
maybe. But yeah, I like your musical style. I wanted to ask you, who were some of your main influences first growing up, listening to the radio as a kid, and maybe some stuff around the house with your parents growing up, and then later on in high school and then in college. I want to see your musical evolution inspirations.
Mostly Whitney Houston. She was a big
Really?
influence on me.
Did she sing, "Ooh, wanna dance with somebody"?
You should let her keep singing it.
If you close your eyes, it's like she's not in the room.
Somebody.
I love it.
Is that her?
That's absolutely her.
That's Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. Keep going.
And, you know, that song was a big influence on me. I love New Kids on the Block because they taught me to take it step by step.
Yes.
And they taught me how to hang tough
Yes.
in
they
high
did.
school.
Yes. Why?
I know when I got
Words of wisdom.
when I got older, I got into Ethiopian scream singing, which is just exactly what it sounds like.
Can you give us an example or?
No, I can't.
Okay. Asked and answered. What else?
I really like the sound of the rain falling on fire. You know, all this. Exactly. Exactly. Everything is music if you want it to be. You know,
It
this
is.
can become a drum. And what's the
touch
little
me.
smiley?
All right. This is Timmy. He is going to be the opening act for his Netflix special
not
in the
true.
next couple months.
That's categorically false.
No, that's accurate.
I think he tried a special on Quibi before it sank. So he's got his name out there a little bit.
He's definitely on YouTube. Yeah.
He's the guy to beat.
So remind me, did you go to Western Michigan?
I went to
University?
Western for a little while, but I ended up graduating from Wayne State.
Okay.
so-
Now, during those college years, who were some singers, bands that you did some deep dives into that really solidified your influences today as a middle-aged man?
Towns Van Zandt, Arcade Fire. And really, to be honest, at that time in my life, I was more into Detroit music than I was like.
MC5 or current?
Well, yes,
Detroit?
I mean, obviously there's MC5 and Iggy are all the classics and
Stooges,
everything, but
Stooges.
just the scene around there in
Kid
the
Rock.
mid
No.
2000s. Oh, he's rocking up and down the block.
Oh my God.
And he's doing something up and down the block these days. I'm not sure what.
Now, is guitar your only instrument that you play?
No, I play harmonica, play a lot of skin flute. It's really good. I play, and I played the recorder. I learned how to play the recorder.
Cool.
This guy's fucking with you. I don't think he's being honest. I know a thing or two about liars. I think this guy's not being honest with you.
No, you've been completely honest this
I'm
whole
always
time.
completely honest.
Always
I just know
completely.
about liars. Like Bobby Kennedy.
I'm in good company.
Now, I asked Mr. Hoffa this about his romantic life, and of course he had absolutely no answer because he's a very obstinate interviewee.
Absolutely.
What
Bring
about
me on to just insult me
what,
like this?
what about your personal
It's
life?
a roast.
Yeah, they didn't know I signed up for a roast.
Now, what's your personal life?
I should have done a TikTok to announce I'm still alive.
As
This is a disaster.
Mr. Pinchback, as much as you're able to divulge, tell us a little bit more about your personal life.
Well, my wife Liz is the single coolest woman I've ever met in my life. I've got my son Jack. That's really mostly what I do
I've
outside
met Jack
here.
a couple times. He has an IQ of like 140, and he's what, 6 years old?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he reminds me a lot of my dad. My dad went to tech, and he's like, I'll go into his room and he'll be doing very advanced math problems on YouTube for fun. That's not a joke. That legitimately happens. And I don't know. I can't wait to see how he develops because he could become either like a great force for good, or he could just turn all internal and go completely Lex Luthor and take the world over. So,
Hey, I mean,
Liz and I try to foster his internal emotional life.
either way, he'll be on my show someday.
Exactly.
And that's all that matters.
Exactly.
That's really all that matters is if someone can be on my show.
Absolutely. That's the be-all, end-all of not
Yeah.
only living in Lake Orion, but the planet Earth at large.
That's right.
Smart to say you love your family on camera. Really good to have for the news if you go missing. Most of the news clips they played about me were just me yelling at Bobby Kennedy. Not a lot of I love my wife, I love my kids on camera. So that
Well,
was smart.
I heard you stood up for the Union, which I guess
Yeah.
it's better than standing up for the Confederacy.
Yeah.
But so there's
I get
that.
it. This guy's a joker too. Great.
What, do you think you're the only joker in the room?
I'm not a joker. I've been serious this whole time.
Oh, okay.
Why give me that look?
I have a question.
I've had guys shot in the head in Dallas for less than that.
in conjunction with George H.W. Bush.
I didn't say anything.
Okay. Anyway,
Cut that.
I have a serious question for you. Now that you're out in the open, will you be moving back to your old residence, which is exactly 0.9 miles due north of here on the other side of Clarkson Road?
You know what? I've been thinking about that, and I'm thinking it's time to go back. I think the heat's kind of died down. You know?
Oh, yeah.
If I were to have problems with the mafia, I think they're less now because they're less powerful. All the news says it. All the experts say it. I think I'm good now.
As crazy and as off the rails and evil of a man as Rudy Giuliani is,
He cleaned up New York City.
He cleaned up the mafia. He actually did his part in cleaning up the mafia.
Cleaned it up.
And he's probably going to be
And he
going
got
to
rid of
jail.
all the homeless people. He sent them somewhere.
He sent them over to Jersey and Brooklyn
And Chris
and
Christie
Queens.
ate them. Yep.
Yeah, Chris Christie ate them.
But I think it's time to come. Yeah, because and then one of those mob guys in New York got killed by a guy who thought QAnon is real. So I think they're on their power's on the downtrend.
Wait,
so.
you mean it's not?
All right, I don't have time for to get into that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna move back to the residence. I think I'm gonna, maybe go back to New York a couple times.
Okay.
They got a bunch of my shit in museums in New York, so I kind of want to go get it back. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Since he's also a free man, you should get O.J. Simpson because he
OJ's
has,
out?
Yeah. Remember, he has experience with getting his memorabilia
right.
back.
That's a
for
good
Las
guy.
Vegas.
That's the kind of guy I used to call to help me handle business back in the day. So
He knows how to keep his mouth shut.
You play for the Bills, you want to keep those Bills. That's how it goes.
Hey, he's still looking for the killer, right?
Absolutely.
Remember, he wrote that book. If I did
If I had done it.
I was thinking of writing a book like that.
you should.
Yeah, if I
still
embezzled a bunch of money from the union pension fund to build Las Vegas.
You still have
if I did it.
You still have another 90 years of life left. So
Exactly.
You
anyway,
rubbed elbows with Nixon, you learn from the best.
we are getting
He got me out of prison.
Absolutely.
we're getting kind of short on time,
guy.
and we have to get our third and final guest on here, Miss Agatha Poursalot Welcome, madam.
Well, Lord, gentlemen, I'm very sorry. I didn't know little Jimmy was going to be here.
Mr. Hoffa, please.
Oh, well, I know you from when you
Okay.
came in at like 14 years old into my
Can
little...
I shake your hand, ma'am?
Absolutely.
Since I'm the only gentleman on the show who actually stands up and
Thank you very
shakes
much.
hands,
Yes,
I'd like to extend that to you.
Thank you very much. Well, you know, like I said,
Don't touch me.
Jimmy there has
Well-
been in my establishment a few times. I know he's a little wet behind the ears still,
I do remember
obviously.
you from back in the day, way back.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, well, you know, I came over to Detroit from in about the same time your family came here. I think you were about, I don't know, 11 or so, 1925. But he started coming around, you know, last year. You know, basically I say if you can work in a factory, you can have a little drink.
I'll
All right,
drink to that.
can I ask what we have here?
Oh, just a little bit of my home brew.
Okay.
You know, I've got a little special select for you back. So after the show, I'll get it for you, all right?
Sounds good.
So,
It's delicious.
all right, wonderful.
Now this is a beautiful dress.
Oh, thank you.
Did you make this yourself, or?
I did, yes. So, you know, when I was in New York, my mother had trained me in sewing, and I was a seamstress for many, many years, and I still do a little bit on the side. And of course, the lights and the glamour of New York. You know, I like, you know, dressing up. I like to have a little fun.
Yeah.
And you know, the boys all seem to like it, especially the boys in blue who come over. But
The Smurfs.
you know.
The Navi from Avatar? Or?
Well, they keep me from going to the little pokey there. You know.
Wait, why would you be going to the pokey? Like,
Well, you know.
I mean, alcohol's been legal for a while, or am I wrong?
Oh well, no, the Volstead Act is still in full swing right now.
Oh, it is.
Ooh.
Okay, is Calvin Coolidge still president?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you know. So you know, a girl's gotta make a buck.
Yeah.
You know
now,
what?
have you been involved with the Cross River, Detroit River whiskey and gin trade coming over from Windsor? Because
Oh well, that's my son Eddie.
okay.
Eddie. Yeah, he. You know. There's a group called the Purple Gang. You know,
Yes.
they help out some of the Italians, yeah, and you know
They're a Jewish gang, correct?
well, yes, sometimes they're a little Polish in there, so yes.
They were all screwed over by the Germans in the 30s. Like, you know, so they all have that in
In
common.
the 30s. In the 30s. Are you talking about
The 1830s, yes.
well, I know. I mean, the war 10 years ago was pretty bad. Maybe you're mixing that up.
The Great War.
The Great
Yeah.
War, yes.
I
We've
get my
lost a
wars
lot.
mixed up.
My first
Is
husband.
this show on a wormhole?
It absolutely
I
is.
lost my first husband there. So that's
Oh, I'm
one of the
sorry to hear
reasons why I started getting creative. A lot of the transients come. You know, my little girl, she cooks and cleans and helps me out. I run the little thing down in the basement for, like I said, and, you know, they bring us food and they bring us some money and they keep my son out of trouble. And,
Okay.
you know.
So you mentioned a thing in the basement. Is this a lead still where you make the moonshine? or?
Well, you know, we have a little bit, there is some glass, and I had a friend of mine, he's pretty good at some of the he's pretty good at-
Manufacturing.
Manufacturing,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Okay.
I can taste the glass. It gives
I
it a
have-
chalky aftertaste.
Yeah, I have found we have used lead before, but sometimes some of the boys get a little sick afterwards. So we try to keep it to steel, and you know it is Detroit, so there's a lot of steel manufacturing, and we try to change it out as often as possible.
How's Henry Ford?
Well,
Is he?
we won't go there. You know,
I'm not going to ask about his political views or anything. I want to know how he's
we
doing.
keep
the
politics
head of
out
the
of my
Ford Motor
house.
Company.
I want to know how he's doing in Highland Park in Detroit, building up those factories right
Oh
now.
well, you know, my oldest has been dating somebody in Highland Park actually. You know, it's a nice area.
It's a very
It's a very nice area,
Yes,
and you know the
yes.
Fords, they really want to bring up Detroit, and
They want to
and-
make it a company town.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
and you know, and a lot of our boys they've been having a hard time, especially coming back from the war, and a lot of these young men have lost their fathers.
And a lot of them have lost half their faces.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we have a no judgment. We have a judgment-free zone.
Yes,
Everybody is
yes.
welcome. Everybody is loved. We have all kinds of music. I knew you were talking. I've never heard of some of these bands. But you know, I'm a big Tommy Dorsey fan, and he could blow a horn, man. It is just so much fun, and dancing down at the Grandee Ballroom. Oh my gosh, have you ever been?
That's amazing.
You know I've been.
Well, you know, you're a little young, but that's all right.
Yeah, I meant to.
I'm sure the girls like
I
you.
think we need to address something. What year do you think it is right now?
No. Don't ask her what year she thinks it is. Ask her what year
Oh,
it
what year?
is.
What year is it right now?
Well, it's January of 1928.
Okay, please, if you have any money in the stock market, take it out now. That's all I can tell you.
Mine's in socks and drawers. I don't trust the banks.
That's a good.
That's the
good.
best advice I can give you. Right
All
now.
right. Well, yes, I don't trust that at all.
Okay.
Just
good.
invest in Bitcoin.
In
all right.
Bitcoin. Like the horsies, the bits in the horsies' mouthies.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right.
You should
Okay.
take a coin, you cut it up into 100 pieces.
Okay. I'll have to find out about that. I had not heard of it. I mean, you know, I know the Ford. When you talk about Ford, he has a lot of the horse-drawn. You know, he went from the horse-drawn and with those funky automobiles.
He sure
automobiles.
does. And I could certainly see Ford being a libertarian, too.
Oh, a libertarian.
I don't.
Yes.
What's a libertarian?
I've been wondering that myself. I'm still not sure.
Oh, all right.
I tried to find out online.
All right.
Okay. Well, Miss Poursalot, is that an Italian name?
Poursalot. Well, it is, but like I said, my father died in the First War. That was Stanislavski. But my mother got remarried to a Poursalot, and we took his name because it just made things a whole lot easier around here to have a father and the same name.
Before the Poursalats came through Ellis Island and got their name anglicized, what was the more ethnic name? What was more ethnic than Poursalot?
The Poursalot? I'm not sure. I mean,
Poursalot.
I'm not sure. I know that they were from a town called Cole Sanita. It's somewhere near Genoa, and I just found this out the other day that Christopher Columbus, oh God bless his soul, was from the Genoa area. And so I'm wondering if Poursalot is related to Columbus. I'm not sure. You know, I know some people say he was a very bad man, but you know, it's.
He was a nice guy. Those Indians were cold. He just gave them blankets.
Oh, I don't know about all that. I just know that is where my father, my new father, because I really didn't know my other father, not very well. You know, he took care of us and took us in, so I'm going to love everything about him.
Great.
So this is wonderful.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Now, we're getting more towards the end of our interview segment. Now, I would like to ask you guys, do you have anything you'd like to promote? Any projects? Anything that you would like to get out there about yourself, about the Teamsters? Do you want to make a big deal about you coming back, or do you still want to keep low?
Listen, last time I tried to get back to the Teamsters, it didn't work out so for me. I got nabbed.
Grabbed.
Absconded.
Okay.
Grabbed, I think it is nabbed.
Okay.
Nabbed, yes.
Notorious IGP or IJP. Do you have any albums or new songs or open mics or shows planned around here coming up where myself and other Metro Detroiters can come see you?
Shows not so far, but I will have in the next couple of months. You can check my music out at Ian James Pinchback Music on YouTube.com.
Yeah.
And my old album, Surreal Estate, which was recorded in 2013, is available online as well.
Yes. Yes, great.
Dead Letter Bandcamp.
.com?
Yes.
It's best if you just let it go.
She could try plugging it in the typewriter. That might
Yeah,
come up.
yeah. Try.
I got one last year.
Really?
Yes, I got some pen pals back in New York.
Nice.
So I got it. They were very expensive, but I had
sure
so
are.
much fun and just like that. And the kids love it when I go wing, and then yes, it's so
It's a
much
wonderful
fun.
noise.
It is very musical. So it is pretty good. Officer O'Malley is the one that helped me find it. Do you know him, Jimmy? Officer?
Yeah. We're not friends.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did he try to nab you too? Not you two, the band, but did he try to nab you also?
Oh yeah, because I really thought you said U2 the band there.
I mean, they're the
No,
world's biggest band.
We were on
Sunday Bloody Sunday.
We were on the opposite sides of
The Irish
of an
UK
issue.
war, or
of the law.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I thought you were a unionist.
Well, Jimmy, I thought you learned.
You fought the law and you won.
You got to keep the Irish liquored up.
Yes, you do.
That's how they are happy. You Officer O'Malley and Officer O'Brien. There's a lot of Irish in our team. And you just keep them liquored up. You'll have a good time. You must not have done that very well.
Last but not least, Miss Agatha, do you have anything that you'd like to say to the audience out here? Do you have a certain brand of liquor that you would like to sell, and where can people find it?
Well, we'd like to call it whiskey because of the grain. There's a lot of grain. Clear is better. Stay away from the dark.
Yes.
Because
yes.
the dark, you get stomach aches. I've heard of some of the girls getting a little loopy and cuckoo. But a glass of... I don't even know. A glass of this is much better than laudanum. It'll calm your nerves, and it's not as addictive.
What's the laudanum?
It's a medicine.
Laudanum? They get it from that poppy plant.
Is it an opiate?
I guess, but I think in the medical thing they've changed the name a couple times. I've heard somebody saying morph, like a moth. But
morphine, and now it's called fentanyl now, and it kills about 1 million people a day.
Oh.
It's an epidemic.
Yeah, but they describe it to all these women all the time just to get them to calm down because their men think that they're just too loud and boisterous.
And ever since you guys got the right to vote 8 or 9 years ago, it seems like maybe the women have been kind of uppity, so they need something to kind of keep them down, right?
I don't know about uppity. I think we have opinions. I have run 3 businesses. I take care of all my children, and I've got plenty of men in my back pocket.
Okay.
Being married, I can vouch for the fact that women definitely have opinions.
Exactly, and they're very good. Maybe
Exactly.
Jimmy wouldn't be in so much
I didn't say
trouble if
bad
he had a
words.
little more women around
Yeah,
him.
you need to find yourself a nice 110-year-old young spring chicken, my friend.
I'm getting a lot of life advice from people I wouldn't accept life advice from this episode.
But didn't I hear you say something backstage? You've been hiding for many years? Maybe that's because you don't know anything and you don't take advice from the people who know right stuff.
And with that, we are going to have to wrap up this segment of this episode. I'd like to thank my guest, Jimmy Hoffa,
Mr. Hoffa, please.
Mr. Hoffa, notorious Ian James Pinchback, longtime friend, great musician, and a new friend, Agatha Poursalot. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
And we would like to have at least 2 out of 3 of you back again in the future. And you're
a real funny guy, huh?
We're gonna throw it to break right now, and then we'll come back with the next segment later. Thank you. Cut.
This song is by Trey Parker and Matt Stone. It's for fans of anime. It's called Let's Fighting Love. それあのちんちんでんもの玉の亀るそれあのちんちんもの玉の今する Hey hey let's go 喧嘩する大切なもの Protect my balls 僕からウイン So let's fighting Let's fighting love Let's fighting love
Metro Detroit's most powerful troubadour, Ian James Pinchback.
Where's he at? I'll be here too.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you, everybody.